Good evening. My name is Lawrence Murray, and I'm the Dean of Admissions at the Gabelli School of Business in Midtown, New York City, Manhattan, New York City. Next slide, please. I'm here to talk about our portfolio of master's programs. These are for students who have completed or are about to complete their undergraduate degree. As you can see here, we have 5 verticals. One is an analytics vertical with a Master's of Science in Applied Statistics and Decision Making, Business Analytics, and Marketing Intelligence. We have a business technology vertical, which includes information technology. In our finance vertical, there are 2 master's programs, a master's in global finance and a master's in quantitative finance, which is also a little bit of financial engineering. And we have 3 management programs, a Master of Science in Management, a Master of Science in Media Management, and Strategic Marketing and Communication. And then our professional services, we have an accounting and tax master's program. All of our programs are STEM designated, which affords international students a 3-year work permit. The only programs that are not STEM designated are our Master of Science in Management and our Masters of Science in Strategic Marketing and Communication. Next slide, please. In addition to the technical skills that you're going to receive in the classroom, we believe in developing well-rounded student leaders. So students who are going to excel in and out of the classroom. Part of that initiative for us is our Gabelli Leadership Certification. Is a requirement for all students in our master's programs. It includes a series of leadership assessments, leadership development activities, the opportunity to engage with a leadership coach, and a variety of opportunities to network with current leaders in businesses that are here in New York City, as well as with senior members in the business school. Next slide, please. We know that getting a job is one of the primary reasons why students choose to pursue a graduate business degree. Here is an example of some of the past employers that have hired students for both internships as well as full-time jobs. And as you can see, this is a wide variety of companies across a spectrum of industries and sectors. Next slide, please. Supporting our students in their career and personal goals and aspirations is our Career Development Center. We have a dedicated Career Development Center that helps provide students with the necessary resources, tools, skills, and experiences to navigate the job search to land successful internships and postgraduate jobs. This includes one-on-one career advising, specialized workshops and group sessions, on and off campus recruiting, although right now in COVID, it's virtual campus recruiting. We have a career spotlight series where every week we showcase a different function, a different sector or industry through the eyes of our alumni. We have a series of mock interviews. We have in-person mock interviews, and then we have an AI-supported mock interview training guide. We do corporate information sessions. When in pre-COVID, this included bringing companies on campus to do corporate information sessions, as well as taking students to companies. But in COVID, this is all virtual. So there are virtual company visits as well as virtual information sessions. And then the opportunity to network with alums throughout the New York tri-state area as well as around the globe. Next slide, please. New York is my campus. Fordham University is my school. This gives you just a general sense of sort of where we're coming from in terms of our alumni breadth and the reach of our alumni. There are more than about 10,000 Gabelli alumni in the New York tri-state area. The tri-state in the United States refers to New York, the states of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. There are more than 40,000 Gabelli alumni around the globe, and there's almost 200,000 Fordham University alumni around the world. Next slide, please. While we are excited about the opportunity to get you in the classroom and to have you engage and interact with our faculty members with really rigorous and relevant curriculum across any of our specialized master's programs, the in-class experience is only half the experience of coming to a U.S. business school. The other half of the experience is really your engagement outside of the classroom, and that includes student clubs and organizations. So here's just a quick sampling of some of the student clubs and organizations that we have at the Gabelli School of Business. We have a Women in Business organization that's really sort of a specialty group. We have the Black and Hispanic MBA Association, which is also a specialty group, and it's open to master's students. We have student clubs that are more career focused, like the Fordham Finance Society and the Fordham Management Consulting Association, and the Media and Entertainment Alliance. And then we also have social clubs. And so what's not listed on here, we have a wine club. We have a trend in New York these days is microbreweries. So we've got a microbrew club. We actually have a table tennis club. We have a football club, so soccer, and a wide variety of other special interests or clubs. So again, half the experience is in the classroom, the other half of the experience is outside of the classroom, and we have a reasonable expectation that students are going to take advantage of this. Next slide, please. Similar to my colleague, the application requirements are pretty similar across programs and disciplines in business schools or engineering programs. There's a resume, you submit your transcript. We do require a language competency exam, so you're allowed to submit either a TOEFL, the IELTS, the PTE, the Pearson Test of English, or the Duolingo English test. You're required to submit a series of essays, recommendation letters, and an admissions interview. For the upcoming year, we will be test optional for most programs. And so you can look at our website to see which programs will be test optional and which programs actually require the student or the applicant to submit a request for a test waiver. Next slide, please. Here are the application deadlines for the upcoming year, fall of 2021, spring of 2021, and summer 2021. And this is all on our website, so there's not too much to discuss here. You'll see that we have a variety of different deadlines for fall of 2021. A common question that we receive is, is there a better deadline that I should apply to? Ultimately, you need to choose the deadline. We have a variety of deadlines to provide students the opportunity to submit their application when they think that their application is at its best. The one caveat is for international students. They really should plan to apply by the April 9th deadline. We can take students until the June 11th deadline, and again, we don't know what exactly the world is going to look like in terms of international travel, but assuming that students will be able to travel internationally next year from all regions of the world, international students should really try to apply by the April 9th deadline. We do offer generous financial aid. I'll talk about that in the next slide. And you really should plan to apply to round 1, 2, or 3 if you want consideration for merit-based scholarships, but we're never going to turn down a great applicant for a scholarship if they apply later. Next slide, please. Here's the information on the cost. This is pretty self-explanatory. You can go to our website and see the number of credits each program has, which generates the amount of tuition. The fees here are there are one-time enrichment fees and then fees that are assessed every semester. But if you go to our website, there's a full outline of what this looks like for the particular program that you're interested in. Next slide, please. I mentioned the scholarships. We do offer generous scholarships to our master's students. Typically, those scholarships range from $15,000 US to $35,000 US per, not per year, but this is per their time in the program. We also offer graduate assistantships. This is the opportunity to work with an administrative or a faculty research center or individual faculty members, and that's 10 to 20 hours a week. Up to $7,020 per term, and that is actually taken off your tuition, so you're not actually getting paid for that. We offer student loans, our partnerships with organizations that do student loans for international students, and then we have a limited number of continuing student scholarships. So once you've matriculated into the program and you've completed your first semester, you have the opportunity to apply for a limited number of continuing student scholarships. Next slide, please. You can come and visit us virtually. We will have a virtual campus tour up here in the next couple of weeks. But you can sit in on a class visit. You can, right now, you can sit in on a virtual class visit. You can sign up for a one-on-one session or small group chats. We have information sessions. We will conduct all of our admissions interviews virtually. And then we also have a series of events. If you go to our website, and the next slide, you'll get our WeChat and the links to everything. You will be able to see where you can engage with us. I want to talk a little bit about how we responded to COVID-19. So I mentioned earlier the GMAT GRE test waivers are test optional for most programs. We've extended our deadlines, understanding that sort of the landscape has been changed permanently. We have a strong investment in educational technology to ensure that all of our faculty are using the latest technology to deliver virtual instruction. We've invested in instructional design. Our courses students have the opportunity to take hybrid and online courses. Those students who make it to campus, we have a comprehensive set of health and safety protocols, which includes on-campus density reduction, so social distancing. So those are an example of some of our responses to COVID-19 that are permanently now embedded in sort of how we operate. Next slide, please. Here's a quick snapshot of our admissions and recruiting team. The contact information is there. Please feel free to reach out to any of those folks directly if you have questions about one of the programs that they represent. And the last slide is our WeChat. And actually, I will make sure to update this and send it out to you. We actually have our own WeChat channel as well as a Chinese microsite, and I'll be sure to update that slide. And for those of you that are attending today, I'll make sure that you get that information so that you can see everything in Mandarin. So if you have any questions, we're excited to engage with you to help you achieve your personal and professional goals and objectives in New York City. I'm open to any questions.
Thank you so much for wonderful sharing, Lawrence. Yeah, we do got a few questions. So first, as a student asking, like, do they have to wear masks when they attend in a class?
Yeah, so if you're on campus, we do have very strict health and safety protocols, which includes wearing a mask. In the United States, I know in other places in the world, it looks a little different, but in the US, if you're going to be inside, in addition to social distancing, you need to wear a mask.
Yeah, and the second question is like more sophisticated. So a student asking, in terms of taking online courses, the student would have as much opportunity as the one who taking the offline courses. And for example, if it would be better for a student wait after the COVID-19 pass and to take the offline courses, would this case would be better choice for them?
Well, you know, we're not really quite, I'm going to answer the second part first, and then I'll go back to the first part of the question. Not really sure when COVID-19 is going to end, and I'm not sure that it is going to end. We may be living with COVID-19 for quite some time, and we'll have to learn to manage through it. In terms of the opportunities for our students to engage and have the same type of transformational experience online, virtually, as they do in person, there's no doubt that those two modalities of engagement are a little different, but we have made a commitment to create an equitable type of experience for those students who are currently studying abroad and they're engaging with us virtually. So those students, we have simultaneous live stream classes, we have asynchronous classes, we have special engagement opportunities for the virtual students to engage with speakers, alumni, the faculty, all to ensure that they have an equitable type of experience at the Gabelli School, no matter what their program is.
Thank you so much for sharing this. And now it's gonna be all for today's session. 好，同学们，我们今天最后一所学校的话呢，也分享到此就要告一段落了。我们现在 Lawrence 老师这个 WeChat QR code 就打在了屏幕上，欢迎大家能够截图，然后去扫描我们 Lawrence 老师的这个微信去进行进一步的交流。然后如果有更多的问题的话呢，也可以打在聊天框，我们老师看到的话呢会回复。Thank you, Lawrence, for your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.